Have you ever wondered why some men effortlessly command respect while others struggle to be noticed? Why certain men walk into a room and without a word become the center of gravity? These men do not chase, they do not beg, they do not waver. Instead, they move with an unshakable sense of purpose, strong, wise, and completely in control. History remembers these men. They are the warriors, the leaders, the visionaries. They do not demand respect, they embody it. And when it comes to women, they do not persuade or plead. Women are drawn to them not out of submission but from sheer admiration, because strength of character is irresistible. What makes these men unstoppable? Why do they hold such undeniable power over attraction and influence? Today, we break down the rare qualities that define them and how you can embody the same force that has shaped legends. Before we dive in, take a second to like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and drop a comment below. Let's begin. 1. The man who commands himself. Have you ever noticed that the most magnetic men never seek approval? They don't chase, they don't beg, and they certainly don't let the world dictate their worth. These men move through life with an unshakable presence, exuding a quiet confidence that demands respect without a single word. Their strength is not in how loudly they speak, but in how deeply they understand themselves. History has always favored such men, those who remain unbothered by praise or criticism, those who stand firm in their purpose no matter the storm. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic rulers, faced wars, betrayals, and the crushing weight of an empire. Yet, he never allowed external chaos to shake his inner foundation. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. These words defined his reign, and they still hold the key to unbreakable masculinity today. A man who owns himself cannot be swayed by rejection, nor can he be blinded by admiration. He does not celebrate victories with arrogance, nor does he collapse under failure. Instead, he moves forward with quiet certainty, knowing that his worth is not up for debate. This kind of self-possession is magnetic. It draws respect, admiration, and yes, the kind of attention from women that cannot be forced or faked. A man who chases women forfeits his own destiny. A man who chases purpose attracts everything he truly desires. The moment you stop seeking validation is the moment the world starts validating you. Women are drawn to men who live for something greater than fleeting affection. Be the mountain, unmoving, steady, and impossible to ignore. A man who has mastered himself is a man the world cannot break. He does not ask for respect, he commands it. He does not demand attention, he naturally receives it. And when a woman finally stands before him, she does not submit, she admires, not because she has to, but because she cannot help it. Let the weak be swayed by opinions and emotions. You are not here to be ruled by the world, you are here to rule yourself. If you understand this, drop a comment below. I stand unshaken. 2. The man who masters his emotions. Have you ever wondered why women test men? It's not to destroy them, it's to see if they can withstand the storm. A man who crumbles under pressure, who reacts impulsively to every challenge, is like a ship without a rudder, easily swayed, easily lost. The world has little respect for men who are ruled by their emotions, and women instinctively know that a man without control is a man without power. Throughout history, the greatest men have been those who remained unshaken in moments of crisis. Theodore Roosevelt was in the middle of delivering a speech when an assassin's bullet pierced his chest. Most men would have panicked, some would have collapsed. Roosevelt, however, stood firm, blood seeping through his coat as he continued speaking for nearly an hour. He refused to be rattled. That's not just courage, that's unshakable composure. And that is the kind of presence that commands respect. Women naturally admire a man who holds his ground, She may test him with words, with emotions, with moments of doubt, but she does not want him to fold. She does not want a man who loses his temper over trivial matters or reacts emotionally to every shift in her mood. Instead, she respects the man who listens, who understands, but who remains steady. A man who does not beg for approval, but who sets the standard by his own presence. Emotional mastery is not about suppression, it's about direction. A man who controls his emotions controls his destiny. He speaks with purpose, moves with precision, and remains silent when necessary. He does not waste his energy proving himself. His presence is proof enough. And it is this level of control that makes him utterly irresistible. If you understand this, drop a comment below. I control my emotions. 3. The man with a mission. Have you ever noticed that the men who obsess over women are the ones women want the least? It's because a man without purpose is a man without gravity. He drifts, he clings, he seeks validation where he should be building his own foundation. Weak men make women their mission. Strong men build something greater than themselves, and in doing so they become impossible to ignore. Napoleon Bonaparte, for all his flaws, had one trait that made him legendary: unyielding focus. He knew exactly where he was going, and nothing, not love, not betrayal, not even war, could break his momentum. He pursued his destiny with an intensity that shaped history itself. This is the mindset of a man who commands respect. And the truth is, nothing has changed. If you wake up each day without direction, without drive, how can you expect a woman to believe in you when you don't even believe in yourself? A woman does not want to be your mission. She wants to join you on a path that's already moving. She admires the man who is already building, already striving, already shaping his own destiny. If your world revolves around her, she will lose interest, but if your world revolves around something bigger, she will want to be part of it. Your focus should be on building your empire, whether that empire is your career, your mind, your body, or your wealth. Women respect men who create, who conquer, who elevate themselves beyond mediocrity. And as your empire rises, so will her admiration, her desire, and her willingness to follow your lead. If you understand this, drop a comment below. I am on my mission. The man who sets standards. Have you ever noticed that the men who tolerate disrespect are the ones who get treated the worst? A man without standards invites chaos into his life. He accepts half-hearted effort, inconsistency, and disrespect because he fears losing what was never his to begin with. But a man who sets standards, he does not beg for respect, he embodies it. And the world, including women, responds accordingly. Julius Caesar once declared, "It is better to create than to learn. Creating is the essence of life." This principle applies not just to empires, but to relationships. A man does not beg for love, attention, or loyalty. He creates a life so powerful, so full of value, that these things naturally align with him. He does not plead for respect. He enforces it by what he allows and what he walks away from. The moment you tolerate inconsistency, excuses, or disloyalty, you send a message. I do not value myself enough to demand better, and once that message is received, respect begins to fade. But the man who walks away from what does not serve him, that is the man women chase, not because he manipulates or plays games, but because women instinctively desire what is not easily won. A high-value man does not operate from fear, he operates from self-worth. He is willing to lose something in the short term to maintain his dignity in the long run. And the moment you raise your standards, you'll notice something profound. People, not just women, will start treating you differently. If you understand this, drop a comment below. I set the standard. The man who is rare. Have you ever wondered why some men seem to command attention effortlessly? They don't seek validation. They don't chase approval. They don't live for shallow pursuits. These men are rare because they understand one fundamental truth. True power comes from self-mastery. Throughout history, the men who shaped the world were not ordinary. Leonardo da Vinci, a genius ahead of his time, dedicated his life to mastering both art and science. Seneca, the great Stoic philosopher, trained his mind to remain unshaken by fortune or misfortune. Alexander the Great conquered empires before most men today have even found their purpose. They were not followers of trends. They were leaders of themselves. A rare man moves differently. He speaks with purpose. He carries himself with a level of discipline that sets him apart from the masses. And in a world drowning in mediocrity, he is unmistakable. Women recognize this instinctively, not because he plays games, but because he is genuinely different. He does not try to stand out. He simply refuses to blend in. This is the essence of true power. Not seeking approval, but living by your own principles. Not chasing pleasure, but pursuing purpose. Not trying to be desired, but becoming desirable through sheer excellence. Strive to be that man, not for women, not for validation, but because it is the only path to true fulfillment. And in doing so, you will naturally attract everything that others desperately chase. Women do not surrender to men who beg. They surrender to men who lead. The men who have vision. The men who set the course, stand firm, and refuse to be swayed by the noise of the world. Be that man, and you will never have to chase. You will simply attract. If this message resonated with you, drop a comment below. I refuse to be ordinary. Like the video if you found value. Subscribe for more wisdom, more power, and more strategies to become the man you were meant to be. Your journey starts today. Stay strong, stay focused, and always, always own your path.